Hello, music lovers. This is Squiggly Myers for Radio, and you are in to the Squiggle Spin, a place where we will be highlighting and reviewing your favorite songs by your favorite indie artists. Brought to you by Rock the Alphabet. Go to Spotify and search Rock the Alphabet, where you will find the most comprehensive list of playlists. A through Z, chances are we have the playlist for you. You can also join us on our Facebook page, Rock the Alphabet, and at www.rockthealphabet.com. And now, your featured song. Hello, music lovers. Squiggly Myers here with part 3 in our review of the album The Raven and the Robot by Kristopher Battilana. As usual, before we get to know more about our featured songs, let's get to know more about our featured artist. Kristopher's studies would take him to the University of Edith Cowan in Perth. Perth is the capital and largest city of the Australian state of Western Australia. While studying here, his musical endeavors would see him joining the gothic band The Krepter Children on bass. Though this stint was short-lived, still Kristopher would continue writing dark and gothic music in his spare time. In 2002, Kristopher would meet the young lady that would one day become his wife. Though this would take 6 years to happen, in 2008 they married and had 2 wonderful children, both a boy and a girl. And though this marriage wouldn't last, Kristopher says that the best thing that came out of the marriage were these 2 children. Out of his musical influences, Kristopher says that the biggest 2 were Faith No More and Tool, citing Anemone is one of his favorite songs to this day. These bands, and the aforementioned in previous episodes, were some of the biggest influences in his learning to play the guitar. Though his greatest influence is his uncle Kevin Battilana, who took him under his wing and taught him a few licks on the guitar. Kristopher says that him and his uncle are working on new material for the coming year, so we look forward to that. Also in 2016, Kristopher would meet the young lady who would change his life forever, but we'll leave that for next week. Okay, music lovers, let's take a look at our featured songs for today. Today we're looking at parts 5 and 6 from the album The Raven and the Robot by Kristopher Battilana. 5 is titled The Black Hole. This song starts out with a rude awakening, seeing that the previous song was called Slumber, where we find our heroes asleep, taking a rest from a long trip. But then they're pulled into this black hole. Musically, this song has a hint of industrial metal, has a hint of nu metal in it, somewhat reminiscent of the 80s, 90s industrial band Ministry, with emphasis on their album Psalm 69. Also, I hear a little bit of Billy Idol in there, and in my humble opinion, I think the song could stand toe-to-toe with the soundtrack from The Lost Boys. Lyrically, the song continues the story of the Raven and the Robot, and their would-be stowaway now turned friend, the mechanic. Seeing how the robot and the Raven had fallen asleep, they got accidentally pulled into a black hole. A devastating event nonetheless. This is echoed musically through the pounding drums and the heavy guitars, giving us a sonic portrait of chaos and mayhem. This leads us into part 6, heavy metal. Now, heavy metal continues the same heaviness as the previous song, as now the 3 travelers have found themselves crash-landed on a planet on the other side of the black hole. Musically, this goes from industrial to nu metal, paying homage to bands such as 9 Inch Nails and Slipknot, depicting very well the carnage and devastation that one would expect from such an event. Well, music lovers, I hope you're enjoying this series on the album The Raven and the Robot. Join us again next week as we conclude our series with parts 7 and 8 in our story of this album. And remember, music lovers, life is short. Don't forget to turn up the music. Now let's listen to parts 5 and 6 in our series of The Raven and the Robot here on MM Radio.